This is a 1993 Gibson Les Paul Studio. This is a 2014 American Professional, I believe they called it at the time. This is a Sir custom shop. And today on Functional Friday, I'm going to tell you how they compare and the reason you should consider buying that expensive guitar you've always wanted. This is a 1993 Gibson Les Paul Studio. It was $999 back in 1994 when I bought it, and it's been through the ringer. It's got some dents and some dings. I shaved down the back of the neck, kind of changed the angle a little bit because I wanted more something else, and I've always wanted something else with this guitar. Some of the things that I've done over the years is I've changed out the caps on the pots for the tone section to try to make it a better scoop on the tone section. Shaved down the neck to make it a little bit more comfortable to play. Mainly just taking the lacquer off and making it so that it wasn't sticky all the time when I was moving down the neck. It's a Gibson Les Paul, so the G is always out of tune, no matter what you do. It's only partially in tune. Always. One of the things that was very common in the 90s for studio Les Pauls was hot pickups. They were extremely hot, and I've adjusted them so that they're more balanced because they were also very unbalanced coming out of the factory. And pretty much always this guitar was maxed out, no matter where the volume was, because they were that hot. I've added a lot of different things over the years to try to make them more tameable. They still don't sound great, and that's just the nature of the beast. I'll never get rid of it because it was a gift when I finally got a 4.0 average for an entire year. My mom made a horrible deal with me that she would get me any guitar I wanted. And at the time I only had a Strat Squire, which was $300 with the amp. And she was pretty convinced that that's almost as expensive as it gets. And then I was like, I want the $1,000 one on the wall. The downside with the way that it is, with hot pickups, they sound good with high gain amps like a Marshall Plexi, which is what I'm playing through today. But they don't sound great rolled back in the neck position. They're just muddy. The tone's all the way up. If I roll the tone down, there's not a big difference, really. Just a tiny bit of clarity. So I don't love it. When the volume's all the way up, they're doing what they should do. But it's just never perfect. I want something else. And that's where this guitar comes in. This is a 1980 Strat. No, it's not. This is a 2014 American Professional, I believe they called it at the time. It's one of my favorite guitars. You've seen it on some of my videos. I'll never sell it. It has two Texas Specials and a Pearly Gates Seymour Duncan in the bridge. And it came like that stock. And it sounds incredibly 80s. And I love it. I love it for what it is. It does have a tremolo, although I leave it all the way back against the body and barely ever put the arm in because it'll go out of tune. It is an $1,100 guitar, and it sounds incredible. It's everything that the Les Paul isn't. Tone knobs that work. in-between positions for the pickups. No one ever uses the center one as far as I know. And a humbucker in the back, just like the Les Paul has. This one has tone options. It's cool, it's light, and I take it all over the world with me when I travel, because if it breaks, I'm not really out much. I could fix it, or I could not fix it. I'd still be fine. But it's bright. Too bright. Sometimes. I have to change all of my settings to get a sound that I want, or roll back the tone, and then maybe I'm losing a little bit of what I need out of the pickups. Well, that's where this guitar comes in. This is a Suhr custom shop. Kind of modern in a way, not really. Modern classic. It has a more modern neck than my other Suhr, which has a classic C. This is a roasted maple neck, ebony fretboard, Aldrich humbuckers. And it's the perfect combination of the Les Paul and the Strat, with all of the best qualities and none of the bad ones. It stays in tune. I can use the tremolo arm and count that it'll stay in tune. I have the in-between positions to get that Strat tone. I also have two humbuckers to get that huge humbucker tone. They're Aldriches, which are some of my favorite pickups. I have them in my Ibanez AS200, which is in this video over here. Or maybe it's on this side, I can't really remember. One of these sides, it's gonna pop up. It's an amazing guitar. I've got this Suhr, and I have the Suhr that is on my little intro. This one right here. And they come with stainless steel frets, so they play like butter. Their volume and tone knobs work all the way through the scoop, so you can get all sorts of combinations of tone. And it's a similar scale to the Les Paul. But it feels and sounds like I'm playing a Strat at the same time. It's the perfect combination. It's more than twice the price of both. So is it worth it? This would be the humbucker pickup. Here's an in-between selection. There's going to be a single coil of the front pickup on this guitar. Middle position, both pickups. The second position is going to be a split of the two pickups. And then of course back is going to be just the back pickup. All right, to sum everything up, here's how I kind of feel. The Les Paul is a Les Paul, the Strat is a Strat, and the Sur is both. If you can get a Sur for under $3,000, it's a no-brainer. Do it instead of buying the other two guitars. It sounds more like a Strat than the Strat does, and I know that's an odd statement that's going to make a lot of people mad, but hey, comment below and tell me how mad you are. It sounds more like a Les Paul than a Les Paul does, or at least a 90s Les Paul. So, save yourself money, time, and effort, and buy the nice guitar that you want. There's nothing like going to a gig with a guitar that you know you're going to have fun playing, and that you're looking forward to playing live. I go with a Sur every night to a gig, to a club gig even if it's not a big fancy corporate event. I try to save this one more for the corporate events because I don't want to bang it up and scratch it up. But I have my beater Sur, which is my classic, my Sur Classic. It was around, I think, $2,600. And it's worth it. I gig on it every single night, and I don't regret not bringing one of the other guitars at all. I don't think I wasted any money. And I'm glad I have the other guitars because they have sentimental value, and one sounds like an 80s Strat, and that's cool for that one gig where someone's like, can you sound like Toto? And I'm like, yes, I can. Kind of, except for Luther's insanely good. Anyway, that's your Functional Friday. Go buy an expensive guitar, whether it's a Tom Anderson or a Sur or a Nash, some custom shop. Do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. I know that sounds reckless, especially for someone who kind of talks finance on Wednesdays, but we'll talk about it on Wednesday and how your perspective should be in life versus how you might want it to be when you're like, I don't have the money for that. We'll talk about that on Work Wednesday. So until next week, enjoy your Functional Friday.